Hello and welcome to the Sweaty the Farmer and the news, where we bring you the news even if it's a slow week. This is our weekly show where we discuss some of the most important news in the gaming world. I am the lone name gamer, the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for coming together this week to talk about some relevant news.
Some relevant quote-unquote news. Because nothing happened this week.
Yeah. That is very true, my friend. It's a very slow week.
Yeah, but now that we have you here, you want to hear some news, I guess. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, ring the things, leave a comment, a like, anything that you will like, interact with your social media device things, just put in your face and just click all the buttons. This is the best way that you can give us support for the show and shows that you like it or don't like it. Yeah. There you go.
Pretty please.
Yeah, pretty please. So in the docket we have Epic will lose over $300 million on Epic Game Store exclusives, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Part of Exile 2 revealed his gorgeous new trailer with a 20-minute gameplay video of the second act of the game. And finally, because there is not much news, this made the news. Final Fantasy director Yoshi-P spent 7 hours baking cookies, drinking wine, and playing 14 on Twitch. There you go. Yeah, so these are the news for this week, my friend. Let's go into it. So,
fun.
Epic Store, 300 million. My God.
Like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Here's how much money Epic is burning to make the Epic Game Store a Steam competitor. It's just about upsetting the market, which is, to be fair, their original intent, right?
Not only that, but like at this point with the size and the strength of Steam,
yeah,
that's what you have to.
Yes, correct. You have to burn money.
There is no
to try to take away.
I mean, more than burning money, it is more of a calculated risk for them. Correct.
It's a ludicrous amount of money, though.
It is, but that's what happens when you want to disrupt a market that is so tightly controlled by one player.
Yeah, absolutely. And how they're spending all this money doing over 100 exclusive deals. We've heard everything from the PC Players Borderlands 3 and a bunch of indie games where they're like, yeah, 6 months, generally 6 months exclusivity on Epic Store, and then you can go and do business with whatever. Which absolutely in this day and age of content creators and fear of missing out and all that sort of stuff, you want to be the first covering the new game, and if you have to go to the Epic Store to do that, there's more customers for you. If you want to be first in whatever game you're looking forward to and it's only in the Epic Store, where you're gonna drive customers there. So yeah, it's not the best for the consumer, because we as consumers will love to have more options where to get our new games, etc.
It is a very hard position for the consumer, because you don't want either a monopoly like the Steam one.
Yeah, correct.
Because they can treat you however they want if they're the only option.
Yeah.
And sadly, probably these exclusive deals are the best way to compete with Steam right now.
Yes. So
it is kind of which price do you decide to pay for what?
Correct. Yeah. Which price do you decide to pay for what and where? Yeah.
It's basically, it's sad because it's a poison kind of situation.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if we want competition for Steam, kind of what we have to.
This is what it has to. Yeah. And then the other side of the thing is giving free games every week. we were aware, and they're giving like very good games from time to time. Not only the indie titles, but very like good classic game, big AAA games at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it works.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
People love free stuff.
Yeah, it works. It works. It's a big investment. I don't know if it's sustainable in the long run, right?
It probably is if they can keep a balance of like striking deals with I mean, these free games, they're probably getting paid by the companies.
Yeah.
Who make.
Yeah.
It's not that they're just giving completely. Like someone is paying for them, and it is basically they probably strike deals all across. Like, yeah, we'll put these ones that you want to get exposure to, like into a game, but then you have to give us some that has big name recognition so that people come.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There is no free lunch. So.
Yeah. There is no free lunch. But yeah, but
it is good for the consumer though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah. They're spending a lot more money and seeing to their projection and everything else. They are actually recouping all that money in growth for the store.
Yeah, again, all these are calculated risks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like by doing like kind of not knowing entirely the thing accounts, the article kind of says like, they spent last year around $444 million around the cipher, and then they reported that they made $700 million from the growth in the store in that year.
Yeah.
So there you go. You have like 200 and change millions of profit.
It's one of those where you have to spend money to make money.
Yeah, there you go. It's that sort of stuff.
Situations.
Yeah, so it's working. They're growing. They're steadily growing. It's great for the consumer. They're getting free games. They're getting the exclusive is. It's okay. It's like.
It is not the best for the consumer.
Yeah.
But I think it's the most competitive option for them.
Correct.
Right now.
Yeah, correct. So,
or the best option that they have to stay competitive.
Yeah. So are they doing a good job in terms of the store? Their store is a little bit lacking compared with Steam, but they're getting better and better every year.
Yeah. In my opinion, the store lacks a lot of quality of life features.
Yeah.
That Steam does have.
Yeah.
But again, Steam has been around for a long time now, and they have had a lot of time to figure out a lot of these quality of life things.
Yes.
So it's if they just keep putting not only money in all the deals, but like in the development of the actual store as a front store, it will get there. It's just a slow process.
Correct. So there you go. They're doing super well. They're spending a lot of money, but that is calculated. That is what they have to do. There is
also.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that a lot of people don't like the Steam monopoly.
Yes.
But then we could end up, let's say Epic successfully breaks the stronghold that they have on that specific market. Then we could end up in a situation like streaming services are right now.
Yeah.
But there are millions of different services.
Yes.
And if you want access to many of the things that you like, you have to pay many different fees all around the place.
Correct.
Which is also not consumer friendly.
That is correct.
And there is an argument to be made for just the convenience having everything in one place.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right?
Yeah, and that, for example, Steam has, I don't know how many people actually do this, but like Steam has that big picture mode
Yes.
that you can ideally like set up on a kind of home theater / like couch gaming scenario.
Yeah.
Because it has amazing control support, for example.
Yes, correct.
And Steve has for the longest time been aiming at retaking some of that home entertainment space that has been taken out by consoles.
Yeah.
So, and that's a feature, for example, that I know some people do appreciate, and that it will take even more time for competitors like Epic to
catch up or get there. Yeah, but hey, it's working. They're spending a lot of money.
I'm not vouching for any or the other. I'm just saying that there are many positions on the matter.
Yeah.
And on the convenience of the fact.
Correct. It's working. They're spending a bunch of money. We are getting free games. So there we go.
At the very least.
Yeah. And it's the same. And in this article, like they mentioned that it's the same kind of position that they're trying to get with the fight with Apple in the Apple Store, trying to like fight against that same monolithic kind of market, or exclusive kind of market.
It is. I still believe that's a lost fight.
Yeah, but
one thing is fighting the Steam money, another thing is fighting the Apple money.
Yeah, but hey, thanks to Fortnite and the fact that they have one of the most used engines in the game market, they have the money to burn.
They have the money to burn. I don't know if they have Apple loads of money to burn, because
that's different. We will know when that concludes.
Those are different. Like those are different levels.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh my god. All right.
Completely different scales of just money.
Absolutely. Best luck to Epic. They've been doing a decent job in their fights. They've been spending money left and right. We've been beneficiary because of the free games. Nobody's complaining.
We're not complaining. We're just giving our opinions.
Yes, correct. All right, Path of Exile 2 and his beautiful second trailer. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just putting it there on the page. This stuff. Yeah, this stuff looks amazing, man. It looks Diablo 3 quality with Path of Exile unique aesthetic, right? Like, it looks like Diablo 3 like new stuff.
It looks. You know what it looks like? Do you remember the first concept that came out for Diablo 3?
Yes.
That never got into like being a thing?
Yes, correct.
It looks like that.
And it's the interesting thing is, like, at this point, the GGG of the Path of Exile developers are one of the most open and communicated developers out there. They've been very clear what they want to do with their game. The community is very close to there and the way they develop the games, etc. So we know that this is very close of how we're gonna look at the end Path of Exile 2.
I will believe so.
Yeah.
They're very transparent for sure, but it definitely has that original Diablo 3 concept aesthetic.
Yes.
That a lot of people don't remember because that happened too many years ago.
Yeah. It's true, but I think that distinct aesthetics of Path of Exile is more like a grim dark Greek mythos. More than
it's clear that the Path of Exile aesthetic was heavily inspired by Diablo 2.
Yes, clearly. Yes, absolutely. They of course for copyright reasons, they didn't absolutely copy. So they took that if you play Path of Exile 1, they have more of a Greek mythology, like a dark Greek mythology, and that gives them that unique like aesthetic.
I mean that's the makeup that they're putting on top.
Correct.
But the whole the aesthetic, and it's clearly inspired by Diablo 2 and Path of Exile 2. Like, as a clear evolution of Diablo 2, it really looks like that original Diablo 3 concept.
Yes.
That never came to life.
Yes.
That completely
and they're
erased
kind
from
of,
existence.
and now they're kind of coming back with Diablo 4. To that dark kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's looking super good. It looks
very, very good. Very
like
modern.
The animations are a lot more polished than Path of Exile 1. Like this is like Path of Exile 2 is like playing Diablo 2 modern with modern systems.
It looks very modern.
And this is like
and
looking at Diablo 4 from there with the systems of
of course it is.
Yeah. But it's funny because I was looking this and it wasn't like absolutely completely different from what Path of Exile 1 is compared with between like Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, right? Those two look like absolutely different games. This looks this looks a lot closer. Like
it does, but again, Diablo 3, it's probably gonna be
the odd one out.
The different child in the Diablo franchise. Like in terms of aesthetic.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And you cannot fault them for like appealing to a more stylized. Yeah.
Words are hard.
I know.
Yeah.
Aesthetic to it, just to have more mass appeal. Yes. They tried out, it didn't work for everyone, and they're going back to what worked for the original Diablo 1, Diablo 2.
Correct. But
that's why I don't think I firmly believe that Diablo 3 is gonna be the odd one out.
Absolutely.
In the Diablo series.
Can you imagine if they actually like, I don't know, they remake it or they do a nostalgia take on Diablo 3 someday in the future when we're old?
In 15 years, we'll get it. Because there are still people like us who we like, for as many faults as it has.
Yeah.
We like Diablo 3.
Yeah, the gameplay of Diablo 3 is still amazing. Like Diablo,
it's very fun to play. It feels very satisfying. You feel very powerful.
Yes.
So eventually, like, each generation grows with its own version of Diablo.
Yeah, that is true. But hey, back to like, but it's looking amazing. It's looking gorgeous. It's looking like Path of Exile.
Really, really good.
It looks like Path of Exile, right? That's the most interesting thing. Like, I see the footage and the interfaces and all the things, and I recognize like instantly, this is Path of Exile. The way they manage their aesthetics in terms of monsters and of terms of UI design is very much Path of Exile.
Yeah, no, they definitely have established their own aesthetic design by now.
Yes.
And they're clearly sticking to it. It works. There is no reason to deviate from that.
Yes.
Actually, looking at this trailer, I'm very excited for Path of Exile.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Now, the only thing that we won really from Path of Exile 2, and the only reason why we don't play a lot of Path of Exile 1, because I will say that I play a lot more Diablo 3 than Path of Exile normal.
Vaya.
Yeah, is that the game has a little bit of a steep barrier of entry. That's it.
It's very, very steep.
Right. Beyond that, the game is the abilities are interesting. What the game does is interesting.
It's not that the game itself or the gameplay is not interesting.
Yeah.
Just the barrier of entry is too steep.
Yes.
And the game doesn't do a very good job at. Like, this is again one of the Path of Exile is one of those games that you have to play with a guide on the.
Correct. On the second monitor,
on the side,
read a bunch,
and I'm not against that in principle, but I don't want that experience to preface the game for me. What I mean by that is I want to get into a game to a point where I will look for the guides on my own.
Correct. And that is not a requirement. Yeah. It's
not only that, but like, I played the game and I enjoyed so much that I think, okay, now I want to
go and look,
quote unquote, get good at the game.
Yes.
I don't want the guy to be a requirement just to play
it. Yeah. I know, right?
Which is the point where Path of Exile is right now.
Yes.
And there are people who can get over that. I just not. I don't. I first need to get in the game on my own term, kind of.
Yeah.
Then I'll admit, I suck at the game now. I'll look for a guide on how to do things properly.
Yeah, but the important thing is like that base experience to be satisfied to the point when you want to know more about the game, right?
Which is for example, and we talked about this before. It's our Warframe experience.
Yes.
That we enjoy the game first. At some point, we said, okay, now we need to figure out how the game works.
Yes. Exactly.
And that's kind of the sweet spot for me between the game being deep enough that I need help figuring out, but it's still like accessible enough so that I can see I can get a glimpse of what I will enjoy from the game.
Yes, correct. So yeah, it feels a lot. Path of Exile is funny because it feels more of like they want to continue the story that they did in Path of Exile 1 and just revamp the animation and the engine of the game. It feels more like that they doing an entire. Of course, they're doing an entire new game because they're doing like more story chapters, new enemies, new bosses.
No, but that's I mean that's fair. Like if you're gonna, it makes sense. Like if you wanna revamp like the core of the game, which is what they are doing.
Yeah.
And by core I don't mean the gameplay core, but like the core of the game, like the engine and those things.
Yes.
It is such a big endeavor that it's basically an opportunity to kind of start anew and put all the things that you cannot do for the limitation that the game may have now. Yes. Or the engine may have now.
Correct. So
you can revamp all the things that your heart desires.
Correct. So it looks for me this looks very, very exciting. Like hopefully
it looks very exciting. I agree.
They will correct a bunch of not correct, but rework a bunch of core systems in the game so the barrier of entry is easier for new players and they attract a lot more players. The animations is what they're focusing on, and to make you feel and see the game when you're spending for the first time, because they say that Path of Exile is still a speed game like every other RNG. Like at the end game, you end up like ruining and destroying everything and farming, and your game becomes different.
it is still an action game.
Correct.
That's why they have action. It's the same as Diablo. They're still action games.
Correct. So they're revamping the animation system, so it feels better. It looks more smoother, and all that sort of stuff is looking fantastic. So the only thing that I want from Path of Exile 2 is a better first player experience, a more easy to read, understand systems at a glance, and they are compromised to not lose the depth, which I believe, because Path of Exile is a really deep game in the expanded systems.
And by streamlining stuff, they will probably lose some of the depth.
Yeah.
But it's a compromise that it's worth making to bring more people into genre that it's pretty stale by now.
Yes, correct.
In my opinion.
Yes.
A lot of people may disagree with that.
Yes, but it's looking fantastic. They can now revamp the game to give more importance to the weapons that you use, which is interesting. They were showcasing like the spear and like a new bow. No, it's not a bow. It's a crossbow. In this gameplay, and the unique skills that you can use with those particular weapons. So maybe they're kind of working that out, and you can start seeing glimpses of the direction they're gonna take to Path of Exile, with Path of Exile 2 making all the systems more easy to understand and that sort of stuff, because they in this league in Path of Exile 1 they're reworking almost all of the rewards for the leagues. Like almost every single reward drop they're reworking and doing it more rewarding, doing it something, moving stuff into the the general pool, doing a new type of currency. They're doing a bunch of things. So I feel like they're slowly getting the field ready for Path of Exile 2, because one thing that they say in this review is that you will be able to experience the entire story of Path of Exile, from Path of Exile 1 to Path of Exile 2. So I was talking off stream this with Lucho, and we were pretty much speculating that it would be fantastic if you can just like play Path of Exile 1 story and 2 in the new engine with the new animations and the new like very cool systems. He was saying like it's very possible because they manage this game very modular like. So that's exciting.
I mean that's. I believe they can achieve it. It's a very tricky thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Because they're basically working on with a different engine with new technology.
Correct.
That's always very tricky. But yeah, as you said, we're just speculating that it really seems like Path of Exile was built in a very modular approach.
Yes.
And that may give them the opportunity to retroactively work with the engine so that it can receive some of at least the quest modules.
Yeah.
From Path of Exile.
Yeah, and the system change and that sort of stuff probably. Well, this looks fantastic.
It's very exciting. Very exciting.
To the website, to Path of Exile, and check it out, the entire full reveal trailer. It looks very Path of Exile. It is a very cool story for what I've experienced when I tried to go through the first game, and the little that I've done. Because the game is daunting.
I'm gonna say that I'm definitely gonna try this at launch.
Absolutely, and the most important thing of all, it's free. And it's gonna continue to be free. So
it's free real estate.
There you go. It's free real estate. Yeah, so there you go. Check it out. Check it out when it comes out. We're probably gonna be seeing this next year around these times, I would say. Being
maybe.
optimistic.
I can see that happening.
The idea was that Path of Exile 2 will come out this year when they first announced it back in 2018. But things happen in the world, and etc. You know all the drills and the things.
The world gets crazy.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. And finally, in our show, our dear Yoshi-P spent 7 hours in a stream making cookies and drinking wine.
I'm not surprised at all.
And everybody love it. They all ask for the recipe. He drinks like a bunch of wine in stream. He played with his guild, with his company, as it's called in 14. Through the new, I think through one of the newest raids or something like that. He baked. This is crazy, man. This dude can do no wrong at this point.
Everyone can do wrong, but definitely he is a very cool character.
Yeah. So
at the very least.
So yeah, there you go. 7 hours of baking cookies and drinking wine on live. So you know, of course, it's in Japanese, but you can
but he's still a very charming.
You can still enjoy the charminess of Yoshi-P and why he's a great game director. And yeah, there you go.
There you go. Do you wish more people did things like this?
I wish more game actually. I don't know. It's difficult because
it's very difficult.
Because you as a big public persona of a very big game, you can be tied up to criticism and that sort of stuff and interacting.
You have
with
to
the
be
Twitch
super careful with the things that you said.
Yeah.
Live, it's very hard sometimes to restrain yourself. From making comments that can be inappropriate and all that stuff.
Yeah. Of course, he's a professional and all that sort of stuff, but interesting.
But it's still a very, very tricky position to in with. I know that, and it's very surprising that he does it, because I remember a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with Rebecca Ford from the, and she was saying that before the whole pandemic, a lot of people on would restrain themselves from streaming and doing stuff like that and playing other games because they are public figures.
Yeah.
And opinions and things can be said and filtered, and that it can be very stressful for them to, not for them, the company, but like for each person to
manage and
just be super mindful all the time of whatever they're saying.
Yeah.
So I and Yoshi-P, which is like the top dog. Of 14. It's like anything that he says, it will just make news.
Yeah. Apparently was super chill. He's showing with his.
It's not about it being not super chill or not. It's about that. We right now, we're just speaking our mind.
Correct.
And that's usually what people tend to do when there's bad, when you're like the head of a game like 14. You have to be super careful with any little thing that you, because people want to know your opinion on many things.
Yeah.
Not only related to 14, but like other games, the industry, other companies,
life stuff.
Life.
Yeah.
And all those things have implications that escape us, because those things have implications in the corporate world.
Correct.
That's you cannot avoid those when you are in such a powerful position as he. Right?
Correct.
That's very draining. Trying to be so careful.
Absolutely.
It's walking a landmine. That's the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's walking a minefield. That's what I meant.
So yeah, Yoshi-P and the streaming war. He's a lovely guy. So there you go. His dream wife to make cookies and make the news.
He's a beloved character.
Yeah.
By the whole gaming industry.
Fair enough. All right, and that is it.
Is that it?
Yes.
That's all for this week's news with the Sweaty and the Farmer. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at @ChrisGPolanco.
And I am the Lone Name Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Lone Name Gamer, and on Twitch on twitch.tv/LoneNameGamer, where I stream. Follow me on your social media to know when I'm going live, to check me out. Thanks for coming, all of you guys hearing us in the interwebs, to the Sweaty, the Farmer, and the news. See you next time. Bye.